Hi guys, welcome back. It's UK here with another vid. I have a few minutes, so I thought let's do one before I have to head off to work. Continuing the creature feature series. Today, talking about dinosaurs. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs, love them. Have done ever since I was a kid. I used to have all the books. Back when you used to have loads and loads of books back in the 70s for like kids and whatnot. They weren't all scientifically minded. My dad used to build Airfix model kits of dinosaurs and paint them for me. And I don't know how many toy dinosaurs around the house. And that sort of love has stayed with me ever since. Dinosaurs do seem to pop up reasonably, covered in fluff, reasonably a lot in role playing, I find, like Dungeons and Dragons and fantasy games anyway. And it's always sort of amazed me why, for a game that is kind of rooted in, let's say, medieval or Renaissance fantasy, where generally you have dragons as your big gribbly things. I'm always intrigued by the idea that campaign settings have a lost world equivalent where dinosaurs still roam. And I've never really been sure why. I mean, this doesn't apply to every campaign setting. Sometimes if you want it, you've got to kind of drop them in. Forgotten Realms, for example, has the jungles of Chult, kind of subcontinent below the Sword Coast. If I remember correctly, there's parts of the Greyhawk setting. I think some of like the tropical islands off the south are supposed to be dinosaur haunted. Hunted? Dragonlance never had them. I ended up having to include them myself whenever I wanted to use them when I was running DL. Although it wasn't very often because dragons were the primary thing. And even in Pathfinder, they show up. You've got a vast jungle expanse on the southern continent called the Mwangi Expanse, which is full of intelligent, angry gorillas and huge dinosaurs. And I kind of get that people like dinosaurs. Very intro to this video was I like dinosaurs. But I kind of find it odd that every, or nearly every, I should say, monster manual or bestiary comes with stats for loads of dinosaurs. And I find it kind of odd that dinosaurs would, well, I'm about to say something probably very stupid here, but that dinosaurs would evolve on these worlds. Generally considering that in most life is created by the gods or primordials or whatever. You know, and I know we get horses and elephants and lions and what have you, all the normal fare, but I still find it very odd that dinosaurs appear quite so often. I do remember thinking for one homebrew world I never actually got round to starting, that dragons would perhaps be the evolved modern version of dinosaurs, and that's where they started out for some reason. Don't know whether that idea works or not, but I don't use them very often in Pathfinder, and I've very, very rarely used them in D&D back when I was running that. In fact, I think they've come up more often in my playing Pathfinder than in anything else. We ran, what's it called? Reign of Winter Adventure Path, which is sort of Irison and the Frozen North and this weirdness. And I was playing a kind of like an Arctic druid. And at one point, and this is a big spoiler, but it's been out long enough that, quite frankly, it shouldn't really matter anymore. There is a point where you end up travelling to Earth from Galarian, but the appropriate timelines means that you arrive in Russia during the revolutionary bit of whatever it was, 1912, something like that. And obviously you're in the same universe, so magic still works. And we had to get into a kind of army camp, and it was one of those sessions where comments were made that you never thought you'd make when you woke up that morning, along the lines of you guys sneak under the fence while I use dinosaurs to distract the guards. And I basically summoned a herd of triceratops and had them charge the main gates. And I think we ended up with like a T-Rex running around chasing these Russian soldiers, and all very, very odd. And there was a couple other campaigns where dinosaurs seemed to appear up out of nowhere. And in one homebrew that I ran about 3 years ago, while I didn't include them as a normal adversary, at one point towards the end, the party had to go into the abyss after the evil demon thing that they were after. And one of the encounters they had whilst traipsing through this sort of like acidic swamp was an abyssal brontosaurus, which was a very memorable fight. And before anyone jumps, yes, I do know about a brontosaurus and a patasaurus, and recently a brontosaurus is a species again, so they are two separate animals. Just to, before anyone jumps me on the video for that. So yeah, oddly, dinosaurs do seem to have a place in fantasy role-playing games, which I don't quite understand. Whether it's just the cool factor, rule of cool and all that, I don't know. I still find it a little bizarre, as I say, for a game that is medieval fantasy, Renaissance fantasy, however you want to put it, that you have things like prehistoric beasts, whether it's dinosaurs or saber-toothed cats or what have you. But you know, I'm not complaining. Anyway, I thought I would just sort of drop a video while I had a moment, and this has sort of been wibbling in my mind for a while. So I'm just curious what you guys think. Do dinosaurs and prehistoric beasties have a place in fantasy role-playing games? And how do you use them? How do you explain where they come from? Considering, you know, whether Earth exists in your universe or not. How do you have divergent, is that the right word? Divergent evolution? And, well, just generally your thoughts I'm interested in. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I know it's only like a quick vid, but I'd be interested to see your comments down below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing your comments, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys, and good gaming.